Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, voice girl. And welcome once again to another edition of the Man Space Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ. And with me, as always, he is the Ricardo Tubbs to my James Crockett, the one and only Big Les.
What's up? What's going on, bro?
I'm good, man.
I'm Tubbs and you Crockett now, right? We out here fighting crime together.
There we go. Okay. Sounds like you got it.
I'm already there, baby.
Go ahead and say the name so we can get your bell.
I can't do it.
Oh, no.
What's that, Miami Vice?
There we go. All right. You back at 500 now.
Hey, I gotta leave a little bit of something out there.
Well, you know, in baseball, they say if you hit 1 out of 4, you pretty much can get into the Hall of Fame, right?
There you go. Some days I bat 1,000, but other days, man, it's like 125. You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, really, I am. Well, you know, at least I ain't babe. What's his name? I had a joke and just let it go, man. That was horrible. What's old buddy that used to do all the betting?
Oh yeah, Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Yeah. At least I didn't Pete Rose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You know, we're not a sports show, but I just need to hit this just because the Hall of Fame announcements just recently came out.
You know, my favorite one I want to do, the Sammy Sosas.
You know, I just can't believe the amount of money that Major League Baseball made off the backs of guys like Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, and Barry Bonds. All the hypocrisy from a bunch of guys who sit there with a pen and pad to watch sports, have the nerve to try to keep these guys out of the Hall of Fame. These guys have never swung a bat. All they want to do is sit there and swing their pen and say, nope, you're not worthy. These guys have made owners millions and millions of dollars.
Millions. And still making millions. You think about it, they still making millions off of these guys.
They're not giving away any of the championships that were won, any of the records that were won, any of the games that were won because of these guys. But yet, I just think it's a complete injustice. But that's not what this show is about.
It's about injustice, period. No. We're not going to go there because I got a whole lot of other little things that are going on with me, but we're gonna keep it light. We're gonna keep it light. Yeah, we're gonna keep it light.
So back to our Miami Vice theme.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of the TV series or the movie?
The TV series. Yeah. Philip Michael Thomas, man. Yeah.
Philip Michael Thomas was a bad boy.
I mean, the TV show was great. That's what spun off to make the movie. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give it to the TV show because that was the original, and it was well worth watching, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, what was that? What's his name? Don.
And Don Johnson, man.
Don Johnson. Yeah.
You know, he's still doing his stuff on the show Kenan.
Really, I'm a big fan of Kenan Thompson. Period.
That show is actually pretty funny. I watched the first few episodes and I was really struggling to get into it. But the second season, man, I'm all in. That show is funny.
Yeah, just him as a whole, as a child actor.
Yeah, I think he's very underrated.
Very underrated. But he killing them on the TV game.
Yeah.
So you don't need to move into the movie game. But I think he could move into the movie game super easy. What he's doing to me, I think is harder. They say doing TV is harder than it is doing movies. He's a monster, man. I remember my sons used to watch Kenan and Kel. on Nickelodeon back in the day. And I was like, who is this? But then I had to respect them then because they were the only two that looked like them on Nickelodeon with their own show.
Right. They opened so many doors, you know?
They opened so many. And then I saw Cal on TV a couple weeks ago. He did an interview. I didn't know he was a pastor.
Yeah. You know, the movie he did that I thought that was very underrated was Mystery Men. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
It's where a bunch of low budget superheroes come together and have to ward off this evil villain. And it's really a funny movie, man. Kel Mitchell, he has the ability to turn invisible, but the only way he could do it, because of his nerves, nobody could look at him.
So everybody had to turn around and then he would go invisible, like, where are you at? Oh my God.
Yeah, for him to turn invisible. Right.
He's hilarious. He's just been hilarious to me, man. I watch him on Saturday night live just because, you know what I mean? Because I know he's going to do something stupid. You know, I'm going to get at least a little bit of laugh.
Another one that I really enjoyed, it was an animated one with Kenan Thompson on Hulu. It had the cast from Saturday Night Live called The Awesomes.
Yeah.
That one is hilarious, but it was along the same lines as Mystery Men of low budget superheroes. So I got to get this out here real quick. Yesterday was Mama Russ's 75th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she still like you?
I know, right?
That's Big Mama Russ's birthday. Yeah. Awesome. Happy birthday. You know?
Happy birthday, Mama Russ.
Yes.
So how is your relationship with your mother?
Oh, man. I can call her now. And yeah, you might not want to hear what she say. We have a great relationship.
Do you think for women, when they're trying to find a man or choose the man that they want to be with, that they look at the relationship that that man has with his mother? Should that be a warning flag for a woman if she sees a man that doesn't have a good relationship with his mom?
See, that could go both ways, right? Because you're talking about mama's boys. Are you talking about mama's boys? Because
I think we'll get into that on a later episode, because we really need to break down what the true definition of a mama's boy is, because I think people throw that term around so loosely.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother subject. But I think it is imperative that a man has a relationship with his mother, a good relationship, because that shows you how he's going to treat his wife. When
it comes down to a relationship between a man and his mother, you know, his mom is always going to be the first woman that he ever loved.
It's the first woman he ever loved. Yep.
So you think that if he protects that relationship, he would protect you as well, don't you think?
You would think, but I've seen it the other way. Because
there are guys that go way overboard into the extreme with the mama's boy category, right?
Yeah. The mama's boy category is another ball game. But here's the thing. You got grandmothers out here that men love to death. I loved my grandmother to the day she closed her eyes. And I still love her no less to this day. You know what I mean? I love my mother too, but my grandmother, man, I don't know. I just can't explain it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I didn't have that kind of relationship with my grandparents. And it's mainly because we didn't live in the same town as where they did. You know, I'm a Army brat. So we moved around a lot. And my grandparents all passed probably when I was in elementary school, with the exception of my mom's father, who passed away right before I was born.
Yeah. See, my grandmother Trap raised me. You know what I mean? And my grandfather and my great grandmother, they were all right there in that same home. on my dad's side, my dad's paternal parents, they were right there in the same home. And I spent a lot of time with them, because my mom worked and they did their best to help raise me, keep me out of the streets. So I spent a lot of time with them. And I've the bond that was built there was, oh my God. When she, when I lost her, it was one of the most devastating days of my life. And I was in the military at the time. So I had them until I was an adult, and they got to meet at least, my oldest children. And then a couple of years later, I lost my other two a day apart, all around my birthday. I lost one on the 26th. My birthday was the 27th, and I lost one on the 28th. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's hard, but I love, man, those people, those adults were very impactful to me in my life, man. So yeah, I understand the mother-son bond, but I was fortunate to have more than just that.
The whole village concept, right?
Yeah, I had the village concept. Exactly. So it was loving and strict all in the same time. You know what I mean? Because my grandparents didn't get on me as they were strict. They wanted me to walk a certain line. I had to walk a certain line with them where I couldn't just speak like I grew up in the hood. I had to articulate my words. I had to, they wouldn't let me. I would say, Grandma, let me ask you something. See, what you gonna ask? You gonna ask some wood? You gonna ask a chicken? And for the life of me, I didn't know what she was talking about at first. Then I was like, she said, ask. Oh, so then it was the hooked on phonics, and all of these different things. And I remember these things. So when I went home, I had to completely transfer, because in the hood, boy, you start talking, yes, my name is Les. That's a ball. Yes, I would love to play football with you. Oh man, you get beat up every single day, so I had to go from, even though my grandparents lived in the hood,
they don't want you to act like you're from the hood.
House. That's right. Exactly. But we didn't talk like we were from the hood. You know what I mean? So I had a great upbringing, but
I get it. Like I said, I'm an Army brat. So my early years were moving around and we were on military bases. And so I was brought up around all different types of people. So when we settled into Alabama, I was probably like in the second grade or going to the second grade at that time. So when we got there, I didn't talk like everybody else. Because I didn't talk like everybody else, I just stopped talking.
Yeah.
I went to this small town called Pineapple, Alabama.
Pineapple. Okay. All right. Yeah. As long as it wasn't an upside down pineapple. Do-do-do.
And I stopped at a convenience store and the lady's like, you're not from around here, are you?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm from right up the road. And she wanted to see my driver's license because she didn't believe that I was from Alabama. She's like, no, this is fake.
Oh, wow.
And I think people that know me can tell when I talk a lot, there are certain words that I will say that are country, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But for the most part, right, I don't sound like I'm a person from Alabama or from that deep South.
No, you don't. No. You got some Southern twang, but you don't have that Alabama Southern twang. So maybe that's what they hearing. Is that a little bit of Southern twang you got?
Like when I go and I would hear my uncles and my cousin talk, I need a translator, man, because they all grew up together. I didn't grow up with them. So a lot of times, especially like now when I hear them, I can't understand what the heck they're talking about. They just,
especially if they're talking in groups. Hey, come down to someone, come see what you go down.
It's like listening to that Charlie Brown teacher. I actually feel like Boomhauer on King of the Hill, right? It's time for your favorite segment and ours, Les the Love Doctor.
Yeah. We're going to get us some smooth music and put behind that. Some bow, chicka, bow, bow, chicka, chicka. Love Doctor. Kind of sound like, when you say it, sound like the Love Boat. Yeah. Those are the only words I know to the song, but
Very underrated show. All I remember at the end was Isaac with the finger point. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it. I got you now, brother. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but then behind it, the treasure, was it Fantasy Island?
Fantasy Island.
They ran them together. And I think that was, whoever came up with that was the great. That was a great connection right there.
Did you ever watch the remake of Fantasy Island?
No, I didn't. Did they have a little person out there talking about the blade?
I have no clue. I honestly have no clue. I didn't watch a second of the remake.
That was my man. Tito, the blade.
Oh, no, that's Tattoo.
Tattoo? I call him Tito.
No, not Tito. That's the Jacksons.
I was thinking of vodka. Tito's vodka. Woo, we gotta have a drink on this one, brother.
Oh, okay. On to the Love Doctor. We've already done the build up and the fans are waiting like, oh, here they go again. Way off the rails. We got to get them into the Love Doctor here. This message comes from Anxiety Building. I just found out that my boyfriend is cheating on me. He came home pretty drunk and decided to sleep on the sofa, which is really unusual. I came and took his hand and led him to the bed. And he had his phone in his hand. I noticed the screen was on a website that I know very well from my single days. The site was a swingers club, and the only way that you could see that screen is to be a member. So I did the awful thing and waited until he was out cold sleeping and looked at his phone. He signed out of the account and used incognito mode, but had a second Snapchat account with 2 contacts, one of which says they almost hooked up. I don't know what to do. I'm terrified. Please help. I found out last year that he had a Tinder account. See, I never met anyone who I have more in common with. He is everything that I wanted in person, so I decided to stay with him. If we could only work on our communication, and then we could really just develop our trust again. I know you may think I sound like a total fool and probably rolling your eyes as well, and you're probably not surprised that this happened again. But see, I always like to see the good in people. And I'm sitting here, I really cannot believe that this has happened to me again. You just don't understand the emotional connection that I have with this man, or I thought we had. Clearly, it means nothing to him if he's willing to throw it all away. We live together in an apartment I bought last year, but I bought it solo due to everything that happened in the past. I'm glad I used my common sense that day. But my real question is, how do I proceed? I'm scared. I can take the easy option and forgive, but I have problems with my anxiety, and I'm not sure how much of this I can handle.
That's a lot right there. That's a lot. And it's a potential mess. you know, sheesh. Well, first off, there seems like there's like 3 or 4 things to be addressed in this whole situation. First off, I want you to take care of you with your anxiety and things like that. You can't be anything for anybody else if you don't take care of yourself. So you gotta make sure you're taking care of number 1 first, and that's you, right? Everything else will fall into place or fall off, right? So as far as you and your man's, you've been doing it. I mean, apparently, you know, you caught him up last year on Tinder, and then now he on, you know, a swingers app. So, and did he know that you were in this lifestyle before? Did you guys meet in this lifestyle? There's a lot of questions into that right there, because, you know, you said at one point the only way you knew about it is because you were part of that. So, you know, if you guys were both a part of this thing before, did he not ever leave the lifestyle? Or, you know, how are you checking his phone? Wow, I don't know. I guess to me, checking somebody's phone is, you know, you got some trust issues going on. I know you've seen something, but, you know, it's just like anything else. You go look through the garbage, you're gonna find some garbage, you know, whichever way you work it. So first off, take care of yourself, you know. Then you have to evaluate this relationship. You're gonna have to, you know, I always say sit down and have a communication, because that's the basis of you either fixing it, finding it, or moving forward. You know, you got to have these conversations. Open your mouth up. Just, you know, say this is what it was. You know what I mean? This led me to this. This led me to this. Now I need you to help me understand why these things are where they are. But here's the other thing. You can't throw a stone at a glass house. So if you're in this same situation, even though you're not saying anything about you, you know, are you in this situation? Are you doing things that you shouldn't be doing? And he knows about that. So he's out here doing what he wants to do. You know, evaluate your relationship, where you guys are standing at. You know what I mean? You said you have a great connection with this guy. You know, you may think you have, you know. And I'm not going to say he's all bad because he out here cheating on you, sis, and doing this and all of this other stuff. I don't know where this man's head is, and I don't know exactly what this has been put through. You giving me a one-way street, and it's your side. So I can't give you both directions and give you an assessment of what you should do. But here's what I would do is I would have this communication with them, conversate, talk, tell them how you feel, what it is you're feeling, you know, and the things that happen, you know. And you got to be true to yourself and be honest, you know. But I think that's the right avenue to take, you know. Have a conversation, you know. Stay out my man's phone, because you don't want him in yours. You know, I know some people feel differently. I'm a believer in some privacy in your relationship. You know, some things need to be private and some things don't. You know, now if you choose to share, that's on you. You know, and some people won't believe that because they're, you know, in the marriage, oh no, we're not supposed to have any secrets and this, that, and the other. It's not a secret. I'm just being, you know, I'm private. That's all that is. So I don't know. I would have definitely sit down, have a conversation and research your situation. And let's just be real about it. My man keep doing it. It's something that he could be missing. So you gotta be honest. You gotta be honest with yourself too. Are you fulfilling what he needs, and is he fulfilling what you need? You know. So there's a lot of questions in there that you need to ask yourself and ask him. You know whether or not you should be there or not at this point. You know, that's a decision for you to make. You know what I mean? Women have great intuition. You know, so you see the signs, or you see the writing on the walls, you need to take care of yourself. You know, Can't nobody make you happy but you. What you think, Bryce?
I absolutely disagree with you on this one, Les.
You do? Go ahead. Tell me why you disagree.
We're not counselors by any means,
Right.
and we are only going to hear one side of the story. This is less the love doctor. The person that needs the help is going to send in, and we're going to hear that person's side of the story.
Right. But we are hearing it from one side. That's why I said, was this a lifestyle that they led before?
So that's the only perspective that we have to go on, is what this person is saying, what she is saying. And she's had issues with him once before. Where there's smoke, there is fire. There are some unresolved trust issues here. And that's why she took a look at his phone. He thought he was being slick. He tried to outsmart her. So he knew what he was doing by trying to hide.
Right. I thought she said she had good communication. I must not be.
No. She said, if we could just work on our communication.
Oh, okay. All right. It's the connection piece that I was thinking about. Okay.
She's caught up in the thought of, she feels like this is the best guy that she'll ever meet. This is the best guy that you'll ever meet. I'm like, where are you looking for him at? I mean, the swap meet? Because if he's out there on Tinder and all this other stuff, and now he's out there on swinger sites and doing all this other stuff, he's not that good of a guy.
But we don't wholeheartedly disagree with each other. We basically said the same things, just different ways. All I said was have the communication with the brother. Talk to him, right?
You don't just trip and end up on Tinder. You don't trip and end up on a swinger site. That's not an accident. This is thought out. This is well planned. This is calculated.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand.
See, he's proving himself over and over again not to be trustworthy. So I think you got your answer. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's going to suck at first. It's going to hurt. But the ocean is big out there, and there's plenty of fish out there.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
You need to tell him to pack his crap and get to stepping.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a boyfriend. This isn't your husband or anything like that. Get to stepping. There's no indication of children or anything like that. So cut your ties and move on before anything gets any worse. Because you don't know what this dude is out there doing. I mean, he could be messing around and bringing diseases home to you. So cut your ties and move on. I'm pretty sure that there's somebody definitely better out there for you. And, you're going to have to kiss a few frogs to get your prince.
It's a big ass frog. He's showing you all the warts right now. You're going to get warts. Keep on kissing that frog.
I would say just move on, basically.
Yeah, that could be it too. Yeah. I just, my thing is if it can be worked out, work it out. If you can't work it out, you gotta keep it moving.
There's a real lack of maturity on his side, and he still needs to grow up and decide what he really wants. Because right now, he's with you for the convenience because you're providing him with a place to lay.
Right. I'll be real with you. I see something different, and I don't think we're getting the whole ball game out of it. You know what I mean? I think it's something different going on. You know what I mean? And maybe she was just too embarrassed to tell us the whole truth and put it all out there.
I don't want to speculate on that.
I don't want to speculate either, but all I'm going to say is I'll just read between the lines. That's all. And maybe I'm wrong. My lines say something different.
Saying 2 + 2 is 5, now that's a mistake. But being on a Tinder site, nah, that's not a mistake at all. That's well thought out. But on that note, if you have a question you would like to have answered by Les, the Love Doctor, just note that the Love Doctor will remain around for the month of February only. So go to the Manspace podcast, click on the Love Doctor, and ask your question, and it may get read on the air.
The Love Doctor. Yeah. Got 2 weeks. Get it in.
As we do each week, we like to close the show with a little bit of inspiration. Now, this week we're going to do story time with Russ.
This is a good one. Yeah.
And our story is about a hungry lion. And for the sake of the story, we're going to call that lion Les.
I knew it. I knew you couldn't leave me out of it for nothing. It's okay, though. All right, let's go.
And at least you're a lion, man.
Yeah, I'm a lion. Right, I could have been a frog. You know what I'm saying?
I made you a lion. Come on.
That's it. Roar, roar. All right, I was stop messing with you. Go ahead.
It was an incredibly hot day, and Les woke up feeling extremely hungry. Les came out of his den in search of some food, but all he could find was a little small rabbit.
Rabbit? A little rabbit?
Les pounced and caught the rabbit with ease. Les's stomach started to growl, and he looked at the rabbit and said, "This little rabbit is not going to fill my stomach." But his stomach started to growl again, and he thought, better this than nothing at all. But just as he started to eat the rabbit, a deer ran past. Les started to look at that deer, and he started to think, deer chops, deer sausage, deer jerky. That deer can fill my belly. So instead of eating the rabbit, Les let the rabbit go and went looking for the deer. But the deer was too fast and got away.
That's why you got to stay in shape, bro. That's why you got to stay in shape. You know what I mean? I'm out of shape. I got to get back in shape. I got to get in lion shape again. Hunting shape. Go ahead. The deer ran off.
So instead, Les let the rabbit go and went looking for the deer. But the deer was too fast and got away, leaving Les with nothing but a growling stomach. See, the moral of this story is a simple one. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. A lot of times, this is the way we look at our relationships. And this can even go back to our Love Doctor segment today. Guys see this pretty young thing in the club with all this makeup on, short skirt, and they think, yeah, buddy, that's the one there. Now you got her. And she's not wearing those short skirts anymore. She's not wearing all the makeup in there. She's not getting her hair done every week anymore. But she's put on 15, 20 pounds. But she treats you right. She does everything you need. She cooks, she cleans, she rubs your back when you had a hard day. She's that support structure that you've always wanted, but she doesn't look the same way as she did when you first met her. Then you're out one day and you see another pretty young thing in the streets looking good. See, just remember, before you take that second look, remember the story of Les the Hungry Lion. And just remember, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
That's right. Now, I hate that I'm Les the Lion, though. It's okay, though. It's unfortunate. You got to learn those lessons in life. You know what I mean? And it's real. It's a real lesson that you have to learn.
That's true.
And some people never learn it, though. Or they went through the lesson, but didn't get the learning from it. So they keep repeating it. That's it.
That's good. The thing is, there's a thing in your life every single day that we go through. Every single day of your life is a learning opportunity. And if you don't take advantage of that, you're going to continue to make the same mistakes and continue to repeat the past. Then you're wasting your time and your efforts. See, when you're learning every single day, you're gaining the maturity levels. And so if you go back and listen to our story, Les the Hungry Lion, if he would have had that maturity to understand, he wouldn't have been hungry. He would have went ahead and ate the rabbit instead of chasing something he didn't have. He already had the rabbit in hand. Instead of being greedy, go back to the Love Doctor segment. He has his woman at home.
Mm-hmm. He got the rabbit.
but he's being greedy and trying to chase what's out there on the streets instead of taking care of what's at home first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's got a rabbit, but he's trying to be greedy and go get a deer.
Well, to each his own. I hope my brother, get his life together and understand what he's putting this young lady through, because remember this, man, you all have the opportunity or the potential to have a woman as a daughter. These same things that you do to women, another man will do to your daughters. So you got to be real careful, because Uncle Les will come and get somebody who's a little rough. You better watch out.
Yeah, man.
Uncle Les will come and get you. You know what I'm saying? I got that chitty chitty bang bang. You know what I'm saying? That chitty chitty bang bang.
And on that note,
we out of here.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Man Space.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Man Space updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at manspacenat1.
Until next time, Man Space Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out
of here. Rawr, rawr.